What is up, boys? Now today's game plan is relatively simple. I just want to assemble everything into the Miata right there, get the motor dropped in it, get the radiator set in it, get everything assembled like that, so that way we can try to get the first start in the car and hopefully not have the car blow up. Well, for, you know, I think the second time now. What are you guys looking at? What are you guys looking at, huh? Huh? You know what? It's only blown up twice, okay? Okay? And just like that, their car is completely up in the air. Now, freaking course, you already know we got our OEM tools, jack stands from carparts.com supporting the front of the car. Those are 6 tons. That's 12,000 pounds. This itty bitty Miata, it's not gonna go anywhere, dude. Now, quick little tip that I do have for you is if you don't have 4 jack stands, you can take a set of wheels, slide it underneath the tire of your car. Is this as safe as a jack stand? Probably not. I honestly think I ramble too much in my YouTube videos. So the next step, now that we got the oil, is to take off the hood and the front bumper of my car. So we should probably just hop into a quick little time lapse, since I know you guys love my time lapse. I'm sorry there's so many time lapses, okay? Now, once again, I just want to give a huge shout out to this video sponsor, which is www.carparts.com, but more on that later.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out a while I keep seeing the leaders doing this. We talking plans and maybe seeing you. Pull up on you, let me scoop. Nobody here but me and you. Got a little ring to it, turn a thing.
Alrighty, now to take off my bumper, it should be relatively easy. It's just 2 10 mil bolts. So we take off the 14 mil. That is 10 mil. Yeah, put in the 10 mil right there. Try not to drop this like we did in the time lapse. And it's 1 bolt right there. Hole. Little. Always a freaking problem. Sweet. And just like that, we got our bumper off. Let's go, boys. So now that we have this car floating, a couple things that I want to do is do a power steering delete down there, since, well, we're not going to be running power steering anymore. Now, in case you saw the TikTok, I tried a couple different methods to take this off. We tried cutting it. That didn't work. Metal was too strong. I thought about using an angle grinder, but this is full of power steering fluid. That sounds flammable. Here's my terribly sketchy idea that I've come up with. So I've taken this guy and I've cut it up. I don't know if you can see this guy right there, but I cut it insanely crudely with an angle grinder. Oddly enough, it didn't catch on fire, so we're okay. Now, next up, we're just going to take a hose from 6-speed that's going to go from here straight down to there. Power steering delete is officially done. Now, here's my crazy attack of plan idea. So, first off, I want to get the motor into the engine bay and attach the motor mounts. That's like the main goal. So, first off, I'm thinking we should take the motor mounts off the car. I know that seems kind of redundant to take motor mounts off when the goal is to put the car's motor in the car with the motor mount. Wow, I just got completely confused. Now, the last thing I'm going to do to make the swap a little bit easier is take off my exhaust. Now, again, I know this seems really redundant. We put all of this on only to take it off. Uh-oh, that's going to fall. Uh-oh. Oh, boys. This is copyrighted. In the arms of the aim. And for everyone that's commenting there's too many time lapses, do you guys really want to see me just go? Yeah, I don't think so. So let's hop into that little camera over there and let's get into the time lapse.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out a while I keep seeing the leaders doing this. We talking plans and maybe seeing you. Pull up on you, let me scoop. Nobody here but me and you. Got a little ring to it, turn a thing fluid in the coupe. Way you look, I know it's real.
So right now we're underneath the car, and it's kind of hard to show you guys, but there's a hole in your subframe where the stud comes through right there. That's where you put the nut and the bolt on, which I have in my hands, but again, this is insanely hard to film and show you guys. So next thing I'm going to do is slightly lower my transmission. Okay. I believe that should have dropped my transmission. It did. Now, in theory, we can continue to lower the motor in. Also, say hi to you guys because you're in the time lapse.
You don't know how I feel, but let me tell you what you mean to me. Slide on me for that meet and greet. Vibe with me in the moonshine, sipping moonshine to the new sky. Sage toasted and be raised soaked in the raincoat. Hit the waves quota, I be flossing, I be locked in. I was lost here. All that turned me to a target. Niggas plotting on me, I be cautious. Back then I was an adolescent, then I had a lesson. I'm the man now. I got fans now. I'm on cam now. I got plans now. I'm finna branch out.
And just like that, boys, the motor is finally freaking in. Now, we do have to undo all of these straps. Definitely take them off. I actually thought I already did that. That's kind of embarrassing. But I also want to put on my sway bar and just kind of clean up a couple other things so that when we actually go to plug everything in and do our first start, we can start getting nice and stuff, and it's not going to blow up again. So here's my sway bar, so let's hop into... Why am I talking like that? I do not know.
All of that bullshit is in my rip. Blue tint papers, blowing vapors, wouldn't trade us. Long hair killer in my villa, bitch, I made it. Used to play to play, now I think we major now. She wanna lay me down, I'ma need you to hold me all the way down. Hold it down for me, say you down for me. Say you hold it all the way down. Hold it down for me, hold it down for me. Say you hold it all the way down. Say you down for me, hold it down for me. Say hold it all the way.
Now, before we actually fully plug everything in, maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself and I already did a couple of hoses, but before we do all the hoses, I need to run down to the store and get my battery charged, because it's been almost like, I think, 6 months now since my battery's been charged. Only one small problem, I don't know, wow, never mind. I guess that's what organizing is like. Oh, wow. Maybe we should organize the entire garage. But he stole it. Oh, God, my trunk. Oh, that's where that went. I've been looking for that. Okay. This poor car. What is that? I don't know where that goes to. Oh, come on. There you go. Sweet. God, I've been so used to the BMW's battery that the Miata's battery, I forgot what the size is like. This thing is microscopic. This right here is my heater core hose. Now, this guy goes to the back of my motor, and it comes out of some cooling system. And normally, it would go right through here inside of this panel that we have there. It would go right through that panel, all the way onto the inside of the car, right through there. It would come out through those holes right there, and then it would go into a heater core, which is situated right there. And then the heater core takes that heat and it turns it into heat for your heater, and then it takes it after cooling it down a little bit by using it through your heater, and then it directs it back out through this panel, because there's normally two hoses, one in, one out, back out through there, and then somewhere into here, I think. Now, if you look, there's just a random hole.
Sus.
Alrighty, so one of you guys actually came in clutch and sent me a bunch of photos of the engine bay, and I was able to find out what I'm missing. Now, I don't know where I put that. God, I can't wait to put those on. Somewhere in this pile of parts. That's cool that it was just chilling in the front. It's dirty. I should probably clean it. I believe that this rubber grommet needs to get put into this hole. This guy hangs on the exhaust, and then I think we can just loop my heater core pipe into here.
Sit down for me. Wait, okay. I give a fuck what you telling me. I really grind like it's 10 of me. Sauce drip, I got the recipe. And you can find me where that pressure be. I'm really trying to see Tel Aviv. Fuck your elevation. I've been levitated in the preparation. I've been meditated. I've been hella patient. I'm so tired of waiting. I got right here with my day. Yeah, from where that crevice be. I've been solid since the less of me. Out here with the C, really in the field. Cam now, I got plans now. Finna branch out, grew up quick, but never let go of this year. All of that bullshit is in my rear. Hey, blue tint papers, blowing vapors, wouldn't trade us. Long hair killer in my villa, bitch, I made it. Used to play to play, now I think we major now. She wanna lay me down, I'ma need you to hold me all the way down. Hold it down for me, say you down for me. Say you hold it all the way down. Hold it down for me, hold it down for me.
Alrighty, boys, and just like that, every single sensor is plugged in. Well, except for this one right here that goes to my O2 sensor. Alrighty, so this right here is my USDM exhaust manifold. This right here is my JDM exhaust manifold. As badly as I want to run my JDM one because these are high flow, everything about these is awesome, they have really weird flange on the back that I can't find, so I can't get an exhaust for this header, so we're going to have to run the stock ones, which really sucks, but whatever. So next up, we gotta install our brand new oil filter. Yoink. Doesn't look bad. I like the oil filters that have the easy grips on them, but whatever, this will work. Yoink.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out of where I live. I can see the leaders doing as we talking plans and maybe seeing you.
Shout out Valvoline for making such an easy part. This thing is freaking insane, bro. I just finished assembling the entire radiator. Now I do want to take some wire snips and cut off some of this terrible wiring that I did. So we got to drop this guy into there, and then we got to wire it all up. But that's gonna be another time lapse. Yeah, I know you guys love time lapses. So let's set up the camera again.
Cool. Why you look, I know it's real. I'm on my Marshawn shit. I've been really getting feel. You know why I'm here. Don't act like you don't know how I feel. But let me tell you what you mean to me. Slide on me for that mean.
Finally, boys, if you didn't tell in the time lapse, I was freaking struggling. For some weird reason, my radiator wanted to sit about 4 inches closer to the motor. Why? I have literally no idea, because I didn't change a thing. But whatever, so I took my old brackets, cut them up, threw some new metal on there, and I made my own brackets, so there it sits like this. And honestly, I'm pretty dang happy with the way that it's mounted, and it's insanely strong. Now, the only thing you need to do is get some hose clamps, which I threw underneath the BMW, so it is somewhere in this bag. There you go. Got some hose clamps.
Shine to the new sky. Sage toasted and be raised soaked in the raincoat. Hit the waves quota, I be flossing. I be locked in. I was lost here. All that turned me to a target. Niggas plotting on me, I be cautious. Back then I was an adolescent, then I had a lesson. I'm the man now. I got fans now.
So I'm not quite sure if you can hear it, but I just went to fill up the car with coolant, and as you can tell, we had a massive freaking coolant leak. Let's take a look down there, and it is just gushing. Now, what's terrifying is the coolant isn't gushing from the radiator, and in my radiator hoses, it's gushing from my block. So it turns out what the problem was something weird that Mazda did themselves, which is actually kind of reassuring that it wasn't me and gave a little bit of confidence back. So apparently this motor also is in a front-wheel drive car, and it has a different cooling system, and that line right there normally goes to a cooling system. If you look in the intake manifold, there's no hole for that to go. So all of that water and coolant, whatever I was using, which was just hose water, was getting pressed up against this metal and shooting out of the sides, causing the illusion that I might need a new head gasket, even though I just replaced it. And that's why I was so terrified, because that could have meant that the block was warped or anything like that. So I threw a crap load of RTV, boom, boom, an insane amount of RTV on this motor, and hopefully it will fix the problem. Alrighty, boys, now the last thing we need to do to the motor before we can actually start it is get the timing in all tip-top shape, because right now my timing is very well off. Honestly, carparts.com really is the smartest way to shop for your automotive needs. Whether that's a hood, bumper, fender, headlight, taillights, or even gaskets and motor parts, carparts.com is going to have you covered. Pretty much any car and almost any part. Oh hey, I didn't see you there. Carparts.com also has this really awesome program where you can scroll down at the bottom, and there's a little button right there, and they can get you free quotes for professional installation and professional mechanics in your zip code. So with that being said, this video is effectively over. So if you want to hit that subscribe button down below and also the like button while you're down there, those two things sound really stupid to do, but they seriously help out me and the algorithm to get more of these videos out for you guys. Now, it's also 100% free to subscribe and hit that like button. So while you're down there, it really would mean the world to me. Anyway, here's my Instagram right there if you want to go follow it. Peace out. I love you.